Hi, and welcome to this episode of the Wildwood News. I'm Tom Schreck. I'm Wildwood's Director of Communications. We wanted to reach out and talk about the COVID virus because there's been so much recent news and additional coverage and all this talk about a new variant coming. So we kind of thought that people might have a lot of this on their mind, and we want to reassure people with the things that we're doing here at Wildwood with our procedures and our protocols. First of all, let's talk about our Airborne Infectious Disease Exposure Prevention and Response Plan, which is a bit of a mouthful, okay? But that is a plan that comes in place and is activated whenever the governor issues a state of emergency, and Governor Hochul has done that recently because of the uptick in positive cases. There's three main components to that plan, and you'll probably recognize them because we've been using them and have employed them over the last 18 months of this pandemic. First of all, there's exposure controls, and that's our mask wearing, our social distancing, and things like that. We also have administrative controls, and that's how we space our offices, how we have our meetings, how we choose to control the environment around us. And then we also have our engineering controls, and that's things like ventilation and air filters and things like that. Okay. We've continued many of these controls throughout the pandemic, and you'll probably recognize them. And we're going to continue to do that to keep the people we support safe and the people who work here safe. So here are some reminders that we want you to keep in mind. You got to complete your daily health screening. That's our main tool that reminds people about signs and symptoms, and it keeps it fresh in our minds of we have to be careful and stay home if you're sick. And that's another point. If you're sick, stay home. That's always been a Wildwood policy, and it's how we keep each other safe, okay? Now let's talk about COVID. If you have any symptoms of COVID, these must be reported to your supervisor immediately, and if you may be asked to get a test. Sick employees or program participants will be sent home. Each program has been given guidance about isolation, family notification, testing, and clearance, so make yourself aware of those in your department. Program participants and visitors to any Wildwood site have to sign in and attest that they are free from symptoms, signs of the disease, and if they've been exposed to the disease. Have to wear your mask in all public areas at all times, and always when supporting an individual. Activities where controls cannot provide adequate protection for employees or for somebody we support will not be approved. It's that simple. Clear plastic barriers, physical distancing where possible, and virtual meetings are still in place, right? And we should use them when it makes sense. And as always, good hygiene, disinfection, wearing a mask, housekeeping, they're all in place. Look, this hasn't been the greatest times in the last 18 months, but Wildwood has responded, you have responded, and for that we're really grateful. Please don't get discouraged as the pandemic keeps rearing its head. We're going to get through this, keep doing the things that are smart, things that are responsible, things that will keep us safe. Thanks for your time, and thanks for your attention to all of this.